Welcome back to Living Our American Dream, everybody, and welcome back to our off-grid cabin. In today's video, I want to talk a little bit about the evolution of the power that we've used back here at the cabin. Now, this cabin's been here for a couple years now, and when I originally built it, I fully intended to not have any utility power source around. We're probably half a mile from the closest road, from the closest utility pole, and that's the way we wanted it. We wanted it off-grid. In the very beginning, we used whatever light we could. Monica's behind the camera. She can confirm this. We used the little battery-powered candles, and eventually I had a company get a hold of me that offered to give me this small battery pack. So this is a lithium battery-powered power pack, and it's an inverter. It can do DC output, it can do AC output. So we ran a string of lights in here, and we can run a regular string of lights on this pack right here for several hours, right? Allow us to camp overnight. What I found about this particular one and other small ones like this is if you want to run for any duration of time, they don't hold up very well. Now, maybe there's better ones out there than this one, but we kind of discarded this idea. So I started looking into other options, and what we came up with is on our property here, I have several uses for a portable power source. So I opted to buy one of these Honda inverter generators. So this portable generator here is 2200 watts and considerably more than the battery pack that I had. And the advantage is very portable. I can take it wherever I want to go. It's relatively quiet. It really doesn't burn much fuel at all. It has all of the AC outputs. As a matter of fact, this particular model even has an app on my phone that I can kind of monitor service intervals and that kind of stuff. Very efficient, and we've been using this out here for several months now. I ended up wiring the cabin to take a electrical cord from here and plug straight into the side of the cabin, and then there's like 1 or 2 circuits inside the cabin. Very simple to run lights and a couple of receptacles. Very shortly after I set this up, the folks at EBL reached out to me. So now I want to talk a little bit about what they've offered me to look at and show you guys what they sent me, and we're going to try it out. So when Winnie from EBL reached out to me and offered a battery pack, I was a little bit skeptical because I didn't want another small battery pack, and honestly I wanted to be able to have something that would charge on its own. So they offered me the EBL H2400. So looking at the spec sheet, this is a 2400 watt rated output. It will output AC in your typical 3-prong receptacle. There's 4 of these on here. It will also output DC in multiple ways. There's the USB outputs and then your car socket. And there's multiple ways to charge this. So it comes with a plug that plugs in the back that you just plug into your utility grid power, and it'll charge this thing up in a few hours. But that's not what I wanted for the off-grid cabin. So they also sent me the EBL ESP200. This is the 200 watt output solar panel, and honestly this is probably the coolest part of this arrangement. So let me open this up and show you guys how this works. So let's power this thing on. Maybe you guys can see this. So in starting it up, it actually shipped to me with 50% battery, and I've had it on kind of messing around a little bit. But it shows me what my input is if I was charging, what my output is if I had it plugged into something. And basically these buttons, you just select which output you want to utilize. There is a light on the back of this thing, so if you needed to use it for a work light, you could hit the light button. The mode button switches between the various outputs, and if Monica will back up just a little bit, you'll see that this battery pack comes with all these different cords. So this one is the specific adapter for the solar panel. It came with this. It comes with the car 12 volt adapter. This is the one that I alluded to already that plugs into the back of the unit, and you just plug it in to your utility power. And then they also send a universal adapter that will plug from the solar panel into any one of these 4, I guess, cord ends that the solar panel could charge various other things, right, with different connections. So in this case, we're going to use this one because this is the one that plugs straight up into here. So this end here should plug right into there, and this end into the solar panel. So let's hook up the solar panel, and this thing's pretty neat. Like I said, it's fairly lightweight. It has a handle on it, and it has an integrated pocket here that has the charging cord that's actually built into the back of the panel. So when I open this thing up, it's just got a couple of snaps, and the panel itself opens up, and this is pretty good size by itself, but honestly there's a whole nother section to this that's Velcro, and you just kind of open up the whole thing. Of course I have it backwards right now, but this whole thing would face the sun like so, and on the back the legs kick out like so, and this solar panel would face directly up into the sun. So right now we're going to plug this thing in and see how it works. Full disclosure, I have not plugged this in yet and tried this at all, so this is going to be the first time. But I've got the unit powered off because we weren't using it there for a few minutes. So I plugged it back in, and we're just, like I said, I plugged this adapter in. The 2 cords just plug in effortlessly. And we're going to take this and see if we can plug this into here. And I heard the unit click, and now if you see right here, I'm getting 44 watts, 46 watts. It's going to vary based on the direction of the panel and how much sun it's getting. It's capable of 200 if you have a clear shot. Obviously we're in the trees right here, and quite honestly Monica's head is actually casting a shadow over part of the solar panel right now. So around 50 watts. So at this rate, it's going to take this battery pack 20 hours to complete its charge. So that's okay. The good part about this setup, and again this is a first impression, but the good part about this is there's no sound, there's no fuel needed. All we need is a little bit of sunlight. So this is potentially going to be kind of neat. I'm excited to try this thing out. So now Monica's head's not in front of the solar panel, and we're up to almost 60 watts from almost 50, so her head was costing us 10 watts. This is the arrangement on the porch. Obviously I don't think I would leave this right here, but you can see up through here I have a whole bunch of shadows on this thing, and if you pan around here and look up towards the sun, you'll be able to see the trees that we have. So what will be a little bit interesting in the summertime, because all these trees are going to be full of leaves, and this particular area, one of the reasons that I built the cabin here is because of the shadows and the tree cover that we have back here. A lot of these trees are very large, and they cast a really nice cool spot right here. So it's possible in the summertime we may have to take this setup out to the edge of the field and charge the battery, but that's also okay because it's all portable. So right now our panel is facing a little bit lower than ideal. Hold up right there, babe.
Here? Okay.
Yeah. So Monica was going to tip it and see if our power would change at all. And I'm looking at that, seeing 50 watts still. Sit it back down.
Oh, all the feet kind of stopped there, so it didn't even go down. You want me to put it right back where it was?
No, it's at 50. I don't think it made too much of a difference. Oh, I see what happened.
Yeah.
So instead of having the feet basically extended with the strap, they were just standing here vertically. So this is interesting to know too. So depending on the angle of the sun, we can set these back feet up however we want. So this is probably the tallest or the steepest angle up that we're going to get.
Yeah.
And obviously if you put that feet back down, this is going to tip back down a little bit more, which I think would be better sunlight in the summertime. Here in the state of Michigan in the winter, so we're in February, that sun's kind of low to the south for us relatively, and in the summertime it's going to be a little bit higher. So you got 49 watts still, so we're certainly quite a ways from peak power, but we're not at an ideal angle, and we're also obviously not in peak sun. You can see I've got trees casting shadows on some of this. The left side of the panel is okay until you get here. There's a tree there. Maybe on one of these other sunny days we'll take this thing out in the driveway at the house where there's no obstructions, and we'll see if we can get peak power out of it. Okay, so that's going to do it for this video, I think. I wanted to have the first impressions. Again, we haven't actually used this thing yet. I literally just unboxed it like the other day. And this is the first time plugging in the solar panel behind me, which I'm very excited about. I did plug it in very briefly inside the shop just to make sure everything worked, and I can assure you that that part of it works fine. I'll be interested to do some testing on this particular setup for the next couple of months here. We do have a trip coming up this summer where we are going to take you guys with us to Yellowstone National Park, and I'm pretty excited about that one. We're going to take the camper pod. If you follow my channel, you know I've got an orange camper pod that's kind of made its way through YouTube pretty well. And a couple years ago I built that specifically for that trip. Now the power setup for that, it's made to be plugged into shore power all the time. However, when we're at Yellowstone, we won't always have that. So I have to decide if we want to take the Honda generator with us, or if we want to take this battery pack with the solar setup with us. So more testing to come on this, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will put a link in the description of this video and probably on our Amazon affiliate site for this battery pack and this solar charger setup together. I'm not going to go into pricing on this video because pricing can change over time, but together they sell as a package unit quite often. So look for that in the description. If you have any comments or questions on any of the things that you see on my videos, please send them in the comments and I will communicate with you there. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you on the next one.